I graduated, you guys. I freaking did it. I graduated college. It was about, what's today? Tomorrow would be a month. Wow. It's been almost a month since I graduated. I graduated college almost a month ago. Tomorrow will mark a month. And this video is to really just give you guys my college experience and maybe some advice for those who want to attend college one day, or just, you know, any kind of advice school-wise. I actually did this video about maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago, but it was really long. It was super long, and I was editing it and I did not like it, and I talked way too much, and so I just want to make this video short and to the point. So yeah, so let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know, I attended Texas Women's University. I got my degree. I got a bachelor's in science, and my major was child development with an emphasis of child life. I had entered university thinking I was going to go into nursing, but that did not work out. So first semester I was in college, I was majoring in nursing, and I was taking a bunch of biology classes and my basics, basically like any freshman. And halfway through the semester I was like, this is not for me. And so that's an advice that I usually tell everybody that asks for my advice about what they should do, or they don't know what to do. You need to, in order for you to find out what you like, if you don't know, if you have no idea what you like or what you want to do in life, is get yourself involved. Get yourself involved in the community. Volunteer at hospitals or at nonprofit organizations. If you go to a church, help out in the church, in the kids ministry or the worship ministry or the media team. There's so many things that you can get yourself involved in, and obviously when you're volunteering your time, that means you're not going to get paid, but it just really pays off, and everybody volunteers their time for anything. I'm still volunteering my time where I did my practicum. I signed up for a year. We have to do a year contract, so I'm still doing that, and it's a nonprofit organization, and I absolutely enjoy it. I'm the type of person that enjoys helping others, and so that's my first advice, is get yourself involved. Try to figure out what you like. That way, when because you can go into college as an undecided major, I think that's what it's called. I had a friend that did that, but towards the end of your sophomore year, you need to kind of tell them what you want to do, because depending on your major, you might have to take more science classes or less math classes. It just depends on what you want to do, so they need to know, that way you don't fall behind. And so volunteer. I advise you, if you're in high school, start volunteering now, because if there's a career path that you want to take, you're gonna require a lot of hours. There's this girl that I know, she's been volunteering at a hospital since she was 14 years old. She is now 21. So since she was 14, she was volunteering in the hospital, and because she's been volunteering since then, she got an internship opportunity at the hospital, because she wants to become a child life specialist. And so because of her hours, they, you know, I mean, that's one of the reasons why, like, aside from her grades and all of that kind of thing. But volunteer hours, people, businesses, organizations, any area you're going into, they look for hours. And just know, if you go into college thinking you want to do something and halfway there you don't want to do it anymore, it's okay. It's better for you to actually study something that you really, really enjoy. Like I said, I went into nursing, and from nursing I switched to early childhood education, EC through 6. I was up to 6th grade, from early childhood to 6th grade, and I did that for 2 years. And I went to, because when I realized I didn't want to do nursing, I realized I didn't want to do nursing, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. A side note, I've been working with kids since I was 11 years old, honestly. I was helping in my church. I was helping our kids pastor, or aka my sister. I was helping her since I was 11 years old with the kids, because it was just her and her husband, and so she would ask for my help with a few kids, and so I'd help her out. And ever since then, I've been helping her out. It has been 13 years now, and literally I've been with kids my whole life. And when I was like in high school, people would tell me to be a teacher, and I would always say no, I didn't want to be a teacher. So when I went to the career center at Texas Women's, I took a bunch of tests. The counselor or advisor, we call them advisors, she asked me a bunch of questions about what I wanted to do in life, what I liked, what my hobbies were, what I enjoyed. And so she made like a little map, and she's like, maybe what you like to do is what you should find a career in. And I was like, okay. And so then we talked a little bit about that, and I felt like I got nowhere with that. And then we went into tests. I started taking a bunch of tests, and so I took a test similar to that. It was a bunch of tests, and I took them online, and it was like a personality test and what I like to do and all of that kind of thing. And so when I was done, I printed out the results and I took them to her, and literally like the first page and a half was like a teacher of some sort or something with kids. And so she was like, well, it looks like you should go into teaching. And I told her, I don't want to become a teacher. I just don't think I can teach. She's like, do you love kids? I was like, I do. I was like, but I don't know if I have the capacity to be a teacher. I was like, I don't think I'm good at teaching. And she's like, well, that's the whole point of classes, and even then, if you don't like it, she's like, you can switch your major again. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'll try it out. So I tried it out for 2 years. I tried it out for 2 years. I liked it. I enjoyed the classes. But then once I started getting into the field, like into like observation hours and observing teachers, and it was the one where I realized I did not want to do teaching anymore. I went to observe at a middle school math class, and it was the same teacher and it was the same class every day. Not every day. I think it was once a week. I think I would go on Fridays, and I went to that class and I just did not like it. I didn't like it. It stressed me out thinking I needed to teach, and I didn't want to do something that was going to be a burden for me. I didn't want to do something that I felt was going to be tough, or I don't know, I was just stressing myself out way too much about it. And so I said no, and I went back to the career center. Or no. I stayed in it, but I didn't know what I want to do. So I kept thinking to myself, I'm going to stick through it, and I'll just be a teacher. And then I decided I wanted to be a high school counselor. Because in my experience, when I was in high school, my counselor never reached out to me. I never even knew who my high school counselor was. And like I said before, I'm the type of person, I always liked helping people. I'm in the kids ministry at my church, I'm in the worship ministry at my church, I'm in the youth ministry at my church, the media team ministry at my church. And being in those, especially in the kids and in the youth ministry, I realized that I like to help. And by helping, speaking to others, giving advice like I'm doing right now, I liked giving advice. And so a lot of my friends would always call me like their mom, the mom of the group, because I would give them advice, or I would not tell them what to do because I'm not bossy, but I would just be like, I don't know if you should do this, maybe you should do this. And so a lot of people would tell me like, you'd be a good counselor. And so I really wanted to do that, and so I went into the family sciences building, and I went there and I told the receptionist, I was like, I want to change my major to counseling. And she's like, do you have an appointment? And I was like, no. And so then there was a counselor passing by, and he's like, I can talk to you right now. And I was like, okay. He's like, let's go outside. And so we went outside, like in the hallway, and we sat on a little bench. And he told me, he's like, all right, tell me what's going on in your mind. And so then I told him, and I was like, well, I'm in early childhood education right now, but I don't want to do that anymore. I want to become a counselor for high school. And he was like, well, in order for you to become a counselor, you need to become a teacher, and you need to teach for 2 years, and then grab your get your master's in counseling, and then you can become a counselor. And I was like, oh, well, I don't want to teach. And he was like, well, then what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I mean, I want to become a counselor, but I don't want to teach. And he's like, you can do it for 2 years. And he's like, and while you're doing teaching, you can be getting your master's at the same time. That way, when you're done with your 2 years of teaching, you will receive your master's in counseling, and then you can get a job in counseling. And so I was like, okay. And so then I thought about it, and so I kept thinking, maybe, yeah, I should just stay in counseling, or I should just stay in teaching. That way I can become a counselor. That's why I did 2 years, because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I wanted to become. And then I was scared of telling my parents that I was going to change my major again. They were upset when I had told them I was changing from nursing to teaching. But like I said, I explained to them it's not something that I was passionate about, and I didn't want to be wasting my time, and I didn't want to be doing something I just did not love or enjoy, which they understood. But they were like, well, if you're changing, then that's it. And I was just like, okay. But that's when I realized I don't want to do it anymore. And so until it was one day in class, we had it was a family development class or something like that, I don't remember. And we had a child life specialist come into the classroom, and she explained what she did. And when she explained what she did, I was just like, oh my god, this is what I want to do. It's like, in a way, it was like nursing and teaching combined, but you're not a nurse and you're not a teacher. And every single time I tell people, I just don't know how to explain it to people, because people call me a therapist, or people call child life specialists like a therapist or a teacher or a counselor, when we're not any of that. We're there to help the child cope with their stay in the hospital, and we do that by play. We do that through medical play, and that's by because usually children don't like shots, don't like hospitals, don't like doctors, that kind of thing. We help them through maybe like we could have like a little teddy bear and be like, Mr. Teddy Bear is gonna go through surgery today, and let's say the child is afraid of going through surgery, and I'm gonna say he's gonna get a surgery on his tummy and he's very scared, can you help Mr. Teddy Bear? And they'll be like, okay. And then I'll go through the procedure with them so they can understand what they're gonna go through, and that way they can understand, you know, that it's not as bad as it seems in their head, because children have such a huge imagination. And so we're really there to just help them cope through that, to help them understand what's gonna happen to them in the hospital. If they're just gonna get a shot, I'll have a little syringe and be like, can you give him a shot? Like, you're gonna get the same thing too, but he's gonna do okay, and just like he's okay, you're gonna be okay as well. And so it's a fun thing, but it's such a difficult career path to take. It's such a competitive field, and I did not understand that when I went to switch my major again for the second time. So I went from nursing to early childhood, from early childhood to child development. I went to my advisor, and there was a different advisor since it was a different field, and this was family sciences. And so she explained to me, she told me it was competitive. She explained there was a lot of hours, and so she's like, are you sure? She's like, it's a competitive field, just TWU alone has like 70 students. And I was like, yeah. And so I got into it, and I stayed in child development with an emphasis in child life. And I kid you not, you guys, my last semester in college, like the semester that I graduated this spring, literally this spring, is when I fully understood how difficult it is, like how difficult of a field it is to find a career. I mean, people, obviously they get a job, it's just really hard. There's so many steps in order to get a job. Like, it's not where you graduate and then you apply and then you get the job. It's not like that at all. First, obviously, you take the classes that are required to become a child life specialist, and then you have to get a practicum in a hospital, which requires like 140 hours or so. And then after the hours, you need to do an internship, which is more hours, like 400 or so hours. And then after that, you need to become a certified specialist, and then after that is when you can apply. You guys, it's such a long process, and I was gonna do it. I was gonna do my practicum. I was going to apply for a practicum, which is like a very lengthy application. You need to get like 2 letters of recommendations. One needs to be from a professor, and one needs to be from someone that really knows you. And then you need to write out all these, they have like a bunch of questions that you need to answer, and then you need to send it in. Like, if you want to get into the fall, you needed to apply by the spring. So like by March, you needed to send your application in to get accepted for the fall. And then you have to have a 3.0 GPA. And my GPA was literally at 2.9 when I graduated. I'm not proud of it, and that is my next thing, is please take your studies seriously, guys. Take your studies seriously, your grades seriously. When I was in high school, I really just por panzazo pasé, like, I mean, not literally, but like, some classes I took seriously, some classes I did not, which was like math and government. I hated those classes with a passion. I did not care. I did not study. Like, I would study the night before, or it wasn't even studying. I would just memorize, and I think a lot of people can relate to that we just literally memorize it for the test and then we just completely forget about it. And so I just did not take my grades seriously, and when I was in nursing, I dropped a biology class, and then I failed another biology class, and so that brought my GPA way down. And ever since my first semester in college, since I was a freshman, which is 6 years ago, guys, 6 years ago, I've been trying to bring up my GPA ever since then. And that's why I tell you, I kid you not, to please take your grades seriously. It's no joke. I can't apply for a practicum for child life because I'm literally 0.1 point away from having a 3.0. And I was literally an A student the last year. This last year of college, I had like A's and B's here and there, and then this last year I had a bunch of A's. And even then, I had all A's, and still my GPA is at a 2.9. I was literally on the dean's list for 2 semesters, and then I was on the chancellor's list for 1 semester, and then I was on the dean's list on this last semester, and even then my GPA is 2.9. So take your grades seriously. Do your homework, go to tutoring, ask for help, ask your teachers, like ask your friends that you know that are better in a subject than you are. Like, just ask for help. I was never the type of person that asked for help. I hated asking for help. I felt like it made me look stupid. I felt like it made me look like I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. I would just never liked asking for help. So just ask for help. I tell you guys, it'll really come in handy. By the time you graduate college, you'll have a great GPA. You'll be able to apply to the places that you want to apply to. You won't have to worry about your GPA like I am. Or like I did, because I decided to move on. I decided not to do child life anymore. And I have been thinking, like, if I do want to do child life, then I'll just go back to school, take like a course at Brookhaven, and to bring up my at least the 1 point, or not even a 1, it's like a 0.1 point. And so that's my plan. Like, if I want to go back to child life, I will do that. I mean, because I can still become a child life specialist. It's just I decided not to pursue it just because there's still I still need the practicum and the internship, and I need to take the exam. But before all of that, I need to bring up my GPA. So I just think there's other things that I would enjoy doing. But yeah, ask for help. And then another piece of advice, guys, when you enter college, it's like freedom. At least it was for me, and I know it was for a lot of people. You're not going to school from, I don't know what high school, 8 to 4, 8 to 3 or something like that. You pick your schedule. You literally pick your schedule. You can be taking classes in the morning, you can be taking classes in the evening, you can be taking classes all day, you can be taking classes in the middle. Like, it's up to you. You can take 1 class, you can take 2 classes, you can take 6 classes, you can take however many classes you want. It's literally up to you, and which is I mean, that's like the freedom, you know. It's up to you. You choose what you want to do. Like, your teachers aren't like, you need to take this and this and this and this and this. Obviously, depending on your major, you're gonna have I forgot what it's called, but it's like a list of courses that you need to take in order to become certified or receive a diploma in that area. So obviously you need to take those classes, but nobody's telling you, like, unless you do go to your advisor, which I advise you go to your advisor and ask them, what should I take? And then they'll tell you, okay, you need to do this and this and this, and then you'll be like, okay, and then they'll send you home with a piece of paper, and then you get online, and then you register for classes, and boom, you're registered. But really, you have all the freedom. You have all the freedom. If you don't want to see the advisor and you have the piece of paper, then you can just sign up for the classes. But just know some classes won't be available. I mean, at least in my school, classes weren't available in the spring, or certain classes weren't available in the fall, so you would have to take it in the summer, or you would have to take it in the spring, or, you know, that kind of thing. So that's why it's good to see your advisor, that way you can know what to take, because I messed up on that. If you're going to college, be a full-time student. The full 4 years, be a full-time student if you can, obviously. But I was a full-time student my first semester in college, and after that I went part-time. I got a job in the summer after my freshman year in college, and then ever since then I have been working, which was since 2013. I was part-time school, part-time work, and by part-time school I mean I was taking 2 classes. That was 6 credit hours. In order to be considered a sophomore, you need to have already 30 credit hours, and then 60, and then 90, and then 129. Yeah, so it's like 30, 60, 90, 120. By the time you graduate, you need to have 120 credits. I was not considered a sophomore when I entered my second year, because I had, like I said, I dropped out of that biology class and then I failed, so I didn't receive any credit for those 2 classes. So then I was still a freshman, and then because I was taking only 2 courses, by the time I was supposed to be a junior, I was still a sophomore, because like I said, I was only taking 2 classes a semester, and that put me way behind. And that's why I graduated 2 years later, after I was supposed to graduate in 2016. I was supposed to graduate in 2016, but because I went part-time, I graduated 2018, this year. And that I deeply regret. I regret that so much, because I really would have wished to have graduated when I was 21 instead of 24. I know it's like no big deal, like it's not a big deal, honestly. I'm just glad I did graduate. I'm glad some people don't get to finish, some people don't graduate at all, and so I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I was able to. But I know a lot of people don't want to, like, they think 4 years is so long. It's so quick. But if you're not full-time, you're gonna keep going on and on and on until you get until you take all the classes you're supposed to take for your major. So go, not part-time, go full-time in school. Like, if you need to take online classes, I enjoyed online classes. It was honestly an experience, and I just wish that I had gone full-time my whole 4 years. Take summer classes or winter classes or Maymester. In order for you to do the graduate in 4 years, you will have to take summer classes, and that's why I say, like, take online classes if you can. But it's like a fast-paced thing, so you have to be on top of it, and it's an everyday thing. But I'm telling you, it'll be worth it. You'll graduate in the 4 years, and it'll go like that. Literally, it'll go by so quick. And you know, things take time, and I know so many people want to, like, already be an adult. They already want to have their career of their life, and some people do make it and some people don't. Like, some things just take time. Some things you can't just rush it like that. It just takes time, it takes patience, it takes experience. Like, if you want to get, I don't know what people want to work in, but if you want to work for a great company, like if your dream is to work for like some huge company or something like that, you need to have the experience. So volunteer and take your time, don't rush things. Just ask for help as well, and be full-time in school, not part-time. Like, I can't stress that enough. I tell that to everybody. Be full-time in school. You will not regret it. My college experience, I feel like I had so many other things to say, but those, really those are like the main points, like, that I learned in college. Oh, and also create networks. Like, make friends in college, make friends at work. If it's a career path, like if you're working in something that will get you to the place that you want to be after college, make sure you create friendships, create those social networks that will get you to where you want to be. I have friends that work in hospitals. I have friends that work for ECI, which is people who go to homes and help children who are developmentally delayed, which I had an interview for last week. So guys, pray that I get that job. But create networks and make friends and reach out to people. Just get those networks. That way, if you want to get into a job somewhere, you know someone, and be like, hey, help me out. Like, what do I need to do in order to get a job here? Or put in a word for me, that kind of thing. It'll pay off. I trust me. I did not like having any friends when I was in college, but then my senior year, yeah, my last year, I made friends, and now because of those friends, I know where like they work in the hospitals or ECI, or people that I've babysat for families for, they know people and they have told me like, hey, I know this person, they work in this area, like I can give them a word about you. And I was just like, awesome, thanks. So it just pays off, guys. College is awesome. College can be fun, but take it seriously. Like I said, take grades seriously. It's not all about the party life. I did not party in college. TW is not about the party. It's not a party school. I know like UNT, there's other schools that are party schools, but that's not the point of college. It's not to party it up. It's to get your education on, to learn and prepare yourself for your future and your career. And my camera is dying, that's why I'm rushing to finish this. But yeah, you guys, if there's any questions that you have, you can comment down below. If you go to my church, if you're friends with me and you have questions, you can ask me in person. That's really my college experience. I am glad I am done. I am hoping I get the job that I interviewed for last week, because it's an area that was my second choice. If it wasn't child life, it was going to be an ECI. So pray that I get that job. And but yeah, so I hope this video was of help for anybody, at least for one person. Like I said, I like helping others. I like giving advice. Yes, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, share it, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys take this advice. Those who are going into college or want to attend college, or if you're just in school, it can apply as well. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Bye.